Hi everyone, it's Steph here if you don't already know, and I am finally in my apartment in Houston. I am so excited and I am so happy. And I thought a really good video that I could do for you guys is what exactly do you need to do if you're moving to Houston or to anywhere in the US, to be honest, from the UK. There were a number of things that I just didn't know. I think I've said this before, but I've only been to the US once, and that was to go to Disneyland. That was like when I was a teenager. So since then, I've not been to the US. So there were loads of things that I had to go through. So I figured if there's anyone out there who is also making the move to the US and would need some help from this video, then I have got you. If you like this kind of content, please do make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and let's get straight into this video. Okay, so what I basically did, every time I ran up with like a little issue when I was in the UK, or even when I first got here, to be honest, I literally just wrote it down on my phone. So I've got my phone in front of me. The first thing before you leave, especially if you're coming from the UK, we have the NHS, all that kind of stuff. Do all of your medical checks like before you come, right? And if you're on long-term medication, so I, for example, have asthma, so I take my inhalers, all that kind of stuff. So I made sure that I had enough inhalers to get me started out here whilst I can sort out like where I want to find a doctor and all that kind of stuff, because my work does give me medical insurance. I do have medical insurance, I'm all covered and all that stuff, but like, you know, I just don't want to be stressed basically. So all I'm saying is that if you have some kind of like long-term illness, or even if you don't, like just go to your GP, get yourself checked out, buy like your paracetamol, your ibuprofen, Imodium, because you know sometimes when you're traveling your stomach can get a bit, you know, somehow. So like all those kind of medications, buy all of those, have enough, pack them in your suitcase, and then like when you get here, you can find places to go and buy them. Do you get what I mean? Like those are not the kind of things you want to be stressed about when you first get to a new country, especially if you've not been there before. So medical stuff, do all of your medical checks, especially if you're in the UK, you've got the NHS, but whatever country you're in, you would have been set up with some kind of like medical system, right? So like just do all of your checks before you move. That's the first thing. Second thing is this whole like public transport, driving. So, okay, full disclosure here, I drive in the UK, right? I know how to drive. I've been driving for like 6 years. I've been driving for a while, okay? So I'm a proficient driver, I'm a decent driver. But the UK has really, really good, okay, let me not say the whole of the UK to be honest, because I don't actually know. But London has really, really good public transport, I'll be very honest. And obviously going to work in London, like I would always just take the train or the tube or whatever. There was always a way to get in. Houston, we have a problem because there's public transport, don't get me wrong, especially if you live in downtown. Downtown is kind of like, it's not the city center, but it's like loads of businesses are downtown basically. So if you live in downtown, then transport should be okay in and around the downtown area. Getting around outside of that, like elsewhere in Houston, you might come across problems. So what I personally did, and I did know this before I came to Houston, what I personally did was I went to the post office in the UK and I paid, I think it's like £5.75 or something like that, and I got an international driver's license. That was one of the first things I did. And that was just so that whilst I'm here in Houston, I can either hire a zip car or I can get a short-term lease for a car. Obviously I can like take Ubers and all that kind of stuff as usual, but like if I just find that I just need a car because it's just too hard to get around, I have that option. Because what you don't want is to come, be able to drive, but because you don't have the right documentation, you're now a bit stuck. You know, you don't want to be running into the police because you don't have your right papers and all that kind of stuff. So I just made sure I did that. And the international driver's license is really easy to do. Like when you go to the post office, all you need is a photo of yourself, like a little passport size photo. And they literally use that to stick in the driver's license. So that will act as your driver's license. And then you need to take your driver's license basically. And then the post office person will just like fill out the relevant details for you on your international driver's license, and then you're all done. And like I said, it's like £5 something. So I would definitely say if you can drive and you're coming over, definitely do that before you come, because it just makes life a lot easier for you in terms of like trying to hire a car and stuff like that. And that's what I personally have done, so I can recommend that. The next thing, visa. Hey, visa. Listen, I have a British passport, right? And like I said, I've been to America before once, but the time that I came, because it was just a holiday, I think I used the ESTA process, which is a little bit different. It's like a type of visa waiver. You just like fill out this form online and then you can come. Like it's not that long, it's not that cumbersome. To come here for a long period of time, The visa process that I had to do, honestly, it had me in tears. There were so many stages to it. I had to apply for this thing called like a training program, because obviously I'm coming for work, right? So there's this thing called a DS 2019, which is a form that the training program providers fill out on your behalf, to kind of just say, you know, you're coming for work for a particular period of time, or you're coming for training for a particular period of time, sorry. They will sign it, you will sign it, you take that to the actual embassy, the US embassy in London, to get that like reviewed or whatever, and then they will decide if they're giving you a visa or not. Aside from that, I also had to do an English test. I'm a born and raised English person, by the way. I had to do an English test. They had to test to see like what my comprehension skills were like and whether I could speak and understand English to a decent level. I've also done a law degree in English, but anyway, I will not shout. I had to do an English test. Like I said, I had to go to an in-person appointment at the US Embassy in London. So all of that was very stressful, if I'm being honest. Then the one thing that, to be honest, maybe I should have known this, I just didn't think, but because I don't really, like when I travel, I don't really travel with visas, so I'm not really used to this whole thing. But when you actually then come to America and you show them your passport, which has the visa inside of it, they then ask to see all those documents again. All the documents that you took to the US Embassy in London to get the visa, they ask to see it again when you're at the US airport. So just bear that in mind and make sure you just keep your documents with you. Also maybe take a scan of all of your documents as well, because I did that, just so that you have them. So like if for whatever reason you lose something, at least you've got your backup, you know, it's all scanned, it's all safely there. So just make sure you do all of that, but just try and start the visa process as early as possible and be on top of it, like be chasing up every couple of days, because it can take really long. I managed to do mine, so I think it took me about 2 months from start to finish, because I started probably like end of June and I got my visa mid-August. So that was the process for me, and literally like every week I would just be checking in, like, yeah, where are we on this visa, like update. Let's go, because I knew that I needed to be out here end of August and I didn't want anything to be delayed. So yeah, I would just say be on top of that from the jump. The final thing that I thought was really, really important, especially for, I don't even just want to say black people, to be fair, because, you know, you might just be somebody who enjoys like African food, right, for whatever reason. But if you are somebody who, like me, I'm from Ghana, like I always say, so I'll be eating plantain, I'll be eating yam, like all those kind of things. You want to know where you can buy your food from, right? Because it's not always going to be in Tesco or Target or Asda or Walmart or whatever, right? Sometimes you're gonna have to go to the market to go get your stuff. So that was one of the first things I did when I got here. Anybody I saw who, you know, seemed like maybe they shopped in those kind of places, I would just ask them like, oh, excuse me, this is the kind of food I'm looking for, where can I go to get it? So I found out that if you are in Houston, write this one down, you can go to the Southwestern Farmers Market on Bizanet. The Southwestern Farmers Market on Bizanet. That is a key piece of information that I wish somebody had told me before I got to Houston, but now that I'm here, I know. So I'm sharing that information with you too, so that if you come and you're just looking for that kind of place where you can go and buy that kind of food, Scotch bonnets, all those kind of things, that's where you can go and get it. You are very welcome. If you like this kind of really quick content, please do make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna be back again soon with another Houston video real soon.